September has been absolutely stacked with news. Spotify's finally gone lossless, Marshall, Cambridge Audio and Devialet have all dropped brand new gear, and the Bowers Wilkins Px8s have a fresh new look. Now on top of all of that, IFA has just wrapped, and if that wasn't enough, for the first time ever, we're giving you guys a sneak peek inside our brand new store, but more on that later. Plenty to get through in this episode of SHS News, so should we get into it?
Right, let's kick things off with the new tech, as it's been a big couple of weeks for new releases. First up is Marshall, who have made waves with 3 brand new launches. The headliner for me though has got to be the Bromley. Coming in at £900, it's their biggest portable speaker yet, and on paper it looks very impressive. You've got 500 watts of amplification, 360-degree sound, stage-style lighting, and a removable battery pack that claims over 40 hours of playtime. Specs aside though, what excites me most is what this move says about where the market's heading. The party speaker scene has been exploding over the last couple of years. We've seen JBL dominate with their party box range, Sony throw serious weight behind its Alt and X series, and now with brands like Marshall jumping in, it feels like a real statement. They're bringing their heritage and that unmistakable Marshall design language to a category that's becoming pretty competitive. And if they can combine that raw power with their signature sound, the Bromley could quickly become a serious contender, so I cannot wait to test that one out. On the home cinema side, Marshall have also brought the Heston 60 soundbar and the Heston Sub 200 into the mix as well, which will slot in beneath the flagship Heston 120 that launched early this year to expand Marshall's home cinema lineup and give us even more flexibility. For me, it's exactly the kind of step Marshall needed to take to become a viable alternative to the big names in this sort of space. But what I'm personally hoping for now is a pair of wireless rears to complete the system. Because if Marshall can build out a full surround sound setup, I think a lot of people would be tempted to go all in.
Another brand that's expanded their home cinema lineup this month is Bluesound. Now they've announced 2 new Dolby Atmos soundbars designed to take on some of the biggest names in the category. The flagship here is the Pulse Cinema, which Bluesound are pitching as their premium Dolby Atmos soundbar with an RRP of £1,149. Inside, you've got 16 speaker drivers, including a proper center channel, dual 4-inch woofers, and dedicated up-firing speakers for that 3D height effect. Power comes in at a hefty 500 watts, and at just under 120 centimeters wide, it's clearly built with bigger TVs in mind. Then there's the Pulse Cinema Mini, which comes in at £799. Now this one's a more compact option that still delivers 280 watts of output. Now you don't get the same physical up-firing drivers, but there are angled drivers combined with Atmos 2.1 virtualization, so you should still get a decent sense of immersion, even in smaller spaces. Specs aside though, what's really appealing here is the Blue OS platform that both models run on. It's one of the more feature-rich ecosystems out there, supporting high-res audio up to 24-bit 192 kHz and plenty of streaming services including Tidal, Qobuz and Spotify. Now there's lots of testing to be done of course, but we've definitely got our eyes on how this shakes up the soundbar and home cinema category. Okay then, time for something that we've actually been living with for the past couple of weeks. Now they technically didn't land in September, but we couldn't leave them out of this roundup. I'm talking about the Melomania P100 SEs, a special edition of Cambridge Audio's flagship over-ear headphones, which come in at £249. Now the originals already offered a pretty decent combination of stylish design, hi-fi sound, and of course, that ridiculous battery life. I mean, 100 hours with ANC off. A year later is still pretty nuts. So what's new? Well, there are a number of small tweaks design-wise. For example, they've re-engineered this headband with softer cushioning, and while I never really had issues with the comfort on the originals, this new version definitely feels better for longer listening sessions. They're also now available in a new blue colorway too, which I'm a big fan of. I think it gives a fresh, modern look. Internals have also been retuned for better performance, but the big new addition is Dynam EQ, Cambridge Audio's new system that adjusts bass and treble depending on the volume. Now in practice, it does make them sound a little bit more lively and punchy compared to the original P100s, which some reviewers did think were a little bit too polite. Now we've got updates to the Melomania Connect app, but everything else is classic Cambridge Audio. There's aptX lossless and adaptive for high quality streaming, multi-point pairing, solid ANC, and of course, that battery life. 60 hours with ANC on and 100 with it off. Now for me, I've really enjoyed using these and they feel like a really neat upgrade for me and tick enough boxes to warrant the £20 step up in price from the originals. Next up, Spotify has finally gone lossless. Yes, after years of rumours, Lossless is now rolling out to premium subscribers at no extra cost. This means that you'll be able to stream tracks in up to 24-bit 44.1 kHz, which is a huge step up from what Spotify's been offering until now. The catch is that you will need a wired connection or Spotify Connect to take advantage, since Bluetooth doesn't have the bandwidth for true lossless. Now, it's not quite the dream scenario that we all hoped for, but definitely a step in the right direction. And on something like the Melomania P100 SEs, it's great to see Spotify finally catching up with the hardware.
Next up, we've got to talk about IFA 2025. The big tech show in Berlin wrapped up earlier this month, and honestly, we could do a whole video just on IFA. But we've narrowed it down to the 3 things we're most excited about, starting with some brand new TV tech. And one technology completely stole the show this year: RGB Mini LED. Mini LED TVs currently use a blue backlight, which can display in the right colours through various layers and filters. RGB Mini LED replaces that with tiny clusters of red, green, and blue LEDs. This means there's no need for filters or a quantum dot layer, as the backlight itself produces true RGB light. So what does that mean for us? Well, we can expect higher peak brightness, richer colour volume, and tighter control over blooming, bringing the Mini LED and OLED battle even closer. Hisense is leading the charge, as they already sell a flagship 116-inch UX RGB Mini LED TV, and at IFA they also added a 100-inch version, as well as showing an 85-inch model due in 2026. Sony offered a behind closed doors demo of its RGB LED prototype, and while we weren't in on the private demo, reports say the TV offered brightness around 4,000 nits, 4 times the colour volume of QD OLED, and greatly reduced blooming. Samsung rolled out a huge 115-inch micro RGB model, but despite the name, it's essentially the same concept with extra small LEDs. And finally, TCL quietly showed an RGB Mini LED prototype too, but focused more on its existing Mini LEDs for now. The direction from all 4 brands is clear: RGB Mini LED is moving from a cool idea to large screen production. The sets showcased at IFA are still enormous and will no doubt come with very premium price tags, but the first smaller 85-inch model on the horizon suggests the technology is getting closer to mainstream availability. CES 2026 will definitely be one to watch. Sticking with home cinema, Dolby Vision 2 also got announced at IFA this year. From what we've seen from the show, there are actually 2 tiers: Dolby Vision 2 for mainstream TVs and Dolby Vision 2 Max for the high-end stuff. The coolest thing for me though was that this wasn't demoed on a £5,000 flagship model at IFA, they were running it on a budget Hisense TV. And from what we've seen reported from the show, the difference in performance was really noticeable. Hisense has already confirmed it'll be one of the first to support Dolby Vision 2, with Canal Plus backing it on their broadcast side. We're still waiting for the likes of Sony, Samsung and LG, but if Dolby delivers on what we've seen so far, Dolby Vision 2 could make even mid-range 4K TVs feel far more cinematic, which is a seriously exciting prospect. And finally, something for the music lovers. Scandinavian brand Audio Pro also used Berlin as the setting to announce the refresh of its entire wireless speaker range with what they're calling the W generation. And the headline change here is that the range now runs on a new Wheem-powered app, aptly named Wheem Pro W. Now, if you've used any of Wheem streamers or amps, you'll know just how slick that app is. So pairing that experience with Audio Pro's signature sound and flexibility feels like a smart move in my opinion. For me, this is a really exciting step because it gives people a genuine multi-room alternative to the likes of Sonos, for example.
Now, another big launch this month that I know a lot of you guys will be interested in are these. These are the brand new Bowers Wilkins Px8 S2s. Bowers are pitching these as the best sounding headphones they've ever created, which is a pretty bold claim. But looking at what's changed, it might not be far off. I'm talking upgrades across the board to the sound, ANC, comfort and design, and from our very first hands-on with them, I'd say they do feel like a step forward and could be the new benchmark in this price category. Bowers & Wilkins have slimmed them down with a sleeker silhouette and lighter build, plus upgraded the finish with a couple of nice design tweaks. Now they come in 2 fresh finishes too, so we've got Onyx Black and Warm Stone, both of which look super premium in my opinion. Inside, you've now got redesigned 40mm carbon cone drivers with an improved chassis, voice coil, suspension and magnet, all angled towards your ears for better stereo imaging. Noise cancelling has also had a boost now with 8 mics on board. Plus, there's a new pure voice algorithm that helps to clean up call quality too. Battery life is still rated at 30 hours with ANC on, but you do get fast charging that gives you up to 7 hours from just 15 minutes of charging. Now these are landing with an RRP of £629, which is about £30 more than the previous iteration. But if they deliver on everything that Bowers is promising here, then that bump feels like it could be well worth it. But anyway, plenty more testing to be done before we can give any kind of final verdict on these, as I'm just super excited to see how they hold up with more listening.
Another newcomer I think you guys will like are these, the Kanto UKIs. Now, we first spotted these back at the Bristol Hi-Fi show earlier this year, and I immediately liked the look of them. They're a pair of super compact desktop speakers. Kanto themselves call them pint-sized, and honestly, that is spot on. Inside though, you've got a 3-inch woofer and a 3/4 inch silk dome tweeter powered by 100 watts of amplification. So while they're small on paper, they're definitely built to punch above their weight. They've got this unique design, some great color options, and from our first listen, they sounded much bigger than you'd expect from something so compact. The good news is they're finally set to launch in early to mid-November at around £199, which I think makes them a really fun, affordable desktop option for loads of setups. Spec-wise, you're well covered. There's Bluetooth 5.0, RCA line in, USB-C, a sub-out that intelligently crosses over below 100 Hz, a 3.5mm headphone jack. There's even a neat little switch that lets you flip the stereo orientation. For me, they feel like the kind of speaker that could surprise a lot of people. Compact, colourful, and way more capable than they look. And I think a lot of desks are going to be getting an upgrade come November. Now, more tech we've been absolutely loving in the studio recently is the brand new Devialet Phantom Ultimate 98 and 108 dB. We've already dropped a full first look on the channel, which I'll link below if you want to dive deeper, but from our early testing, I've come away genuinely impressed. Now, of course, this is Devialet we're talking about, so these speakers don't come cheap, but I like that they haven't just improved the speakers themselves, but they've also simplified their lineup to just 2 models. And the good news is the prices haven't skyrocketed either. The 98 gets a small bump, while the 108 stays the same as the last generation, although the remote is now sold separately. The updated design and new matte finish feels super premium, and that deep forest colorway is probably my new favorite color of any speaker I've tested. I love the way in some lighting it looks sleek black, and then you catch these subtle green tones when the light hits. It's a pretty brave move not to offer an outright black option, but from the comments I've seen online, it looks like it's been very well received by others too. There's also been a lot of hard work under the hood, especially on the 108 dB, with new drivers, upgraded amplification, and more efficient hardware across the board. But from what we've heard so far, the 98 still gives you that trademark Phantom experience, but with a touch more finesse, while the 108 really kicks things up a gear. Personally, the setup I've been most surprised with is the stereo pair of 98s. At around £2,800, that can make for a seriously impressive compact hi-fi system, but if you're after a single all-in-one speaker, the 108 dB, I mean, wow, there's not much out there like it.
Okay guys, so finally we're at that part of the video that I know you've all been waiting super patiently for. Me and Elle are going to head out and take you guys for a behind the scenes look at our brand new HQ. Now we're going to tick off some of the key areas, including the store, the warehouse, and the bit that I'm most excited for, the YouTube studio. But do bear with us because it is a little bit of a building site.
Oh yeah, also don't forget guys, we have got an official opening date as well. So the 8th of November, that weekend, we're going to be opening for real. So if you guys want to see it, now's the time.
Is that a YouTube exclusive?
I think it might be.
Let's go check it out. We're in the warehouse right now. As you can see, this space is absolutely massive.
Yeah.
It's almost like me and Elle were just talking about back in the day when you were in sports hall at school. This is like literally like a 5-a-side / all the badminton courts there. It's giving me that kind of vibe at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, I don't think the camera even does it justice. Like this is huge, and a huge step up from where we were before. So.
Massive.
Yeah.
This is the entranceway into our brand new store. So first of all, on the right hand side, we're going to have our tills, we're going to have all the TV set up on the wall. You can actually see all of the plug sockets being fitted now. Just gives it a little bit of a hint as to how many different TVs we're going to have up, and all the tech is going to be over there. Now, in the middle, we're going to have lots of like vinyl concessions, portable speakers, all that sort of stuff, and a really exciting space that we've got going on over here is the coffee shop. So we're going to have some seating in this area here, a little coffee bar that we've somewhat marked out on the floor. Is this the Sonos lamp?
This is the Sonos line.
This is the Sonos line. This is the one that everyone is most excited about. Again, as you can see on the walls, a little bit of a hint as to what we're going to have where, but this is going to be a really nice dedicated room where you guys can come and check out the latest and greatest Sonos products, test them out, get a feel for how they're going to sound in your space. We've then got our installation room, a little bit of a giveaway as to how many ceiling speaker cutouts we've currently got on the roof, so this is going to be a serious setup in here as well. And then, actually, no, do you know what? I'm not going to talk you guys through that room over there. That's going to stay top secret until we launch.
Right, so the next room we're going to go and see is the studio. This is quite a big one for you, isn't it, Lou?
Yeah, this is what I'm most excited about, to be honest with you guys. So we're going to have our desks along here, so we can really lock in with our edits and hopefully get more content out for you guys quicker. And then over here, this is going to be like our typical kind of living room setup. So we're going to have a sofa here, TVs that we can just swap in and out like super quickly to film loads of different content. We can do our comparisons there. This space I'm really excited about, and I think we're going to create some really, really cool content here for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, guys, he does not talk about anything else when we're back at the office. It is what we're going to have in the new studio, where can I put things, how can I do things, and honestly, this space just looks incredible as well, so we cannot wait to see how this one looks.
Excited for this one. So there we have it. I hope you guys have enjoyed that quick little tour around here. Every time we come back here, it just looks completely different, doesn't it?
It's mind-blowing. Honestly, I cannot wait for you guys to come down and see this for yourselves. When we're fully done, it is going to be a joke.
Yeah, this space is going to be next level, and we cannot wait to see all of you down here.